the brain is actually going into fight, flight or freeze mode. What it is doing is वो कहता है सब चीजें छोड़ दो, अब हम बहुत डेंजर में हैं, we need to fight this. If you try humming, you will realize that you will not be able to think. And when the thought cycle breaks, your brain will calm down. We do a lot of mirror work where we talk to ourselves, try to express how we feel, or just, and a lot of people will not even be able to make eye contact with themselves. And at times हम सोचते कहीं पहुंच भी जाते हैं जो हमारी यूजुअल जगहें होती हैं नहीं होता है, and we don't realize what is that is autopilot. हम अपने इमोशंस के साथ ज्यादा बात नहीं करते क्योंकि हमें सेफ्टी फील नहीं होती अपने इमोशंस के साथ डील करने के लिए.
With our hectic schedules and fast-paced lives, every second person is dealing with stress, anxiety, or depression. As Mental Health Awareness Month is going on, we have here renowned psychologist Milan Sanga Gujral with us. Hi Milan, welcome to NDTV Who's That 360.
Thank you so much, Viveka. It's wonderful to have you here today.
So Milan, what are the common sources of stress in everyday life, and what are the practical ways to manage and reduce stress?
Right. So I think everything is stressful nowadays. Really, we used to have like a lot of outlets and support systems because families were together. Everybody was staying together, or we would have like connections. We would go out to play with friends and things like that. Now, because the world has become smaller, and I think a lot of it has to do with social media, and especially post-COVID, I think the stresses have increased. I think there's a lot of competition that causes a lot of stress because, again, a lot of times we are competing with people behind the screen.
Yeah.
And we are comparing our lives to theirs. So that can cause a lot of stress. And then there's work. Obviously, being able to keep that going and balance in life, that can cause a lot of stress. I feel that a lot of times what we forget to do is pause.
Yeah.
We keep running, but we forget that, pausing and reflecting on what is happening, how we're feeling, is very important. And that is one very effective way of dealing with stress. Because when we pause, we give ourselves that, just थोड़ी देर के लिए रुक के just be in the moment. Our brain also needs to kind of relax in that moment, and then we can keep going forward. The second thing is we always have goals of what we need to do ahead, but somewhere we forget to celebrate the goals we've already achieved.
Yeah.
So this is something I always tell my clients कि अच्छा यहाँ तक पहुँच गए हो, but have you thought कि अभी तक जितना कुछ हुआ है, how do you feel about that? Or have you even celebrated that? They're like नहीं अब तो ये हो गया, अब next क्या? So I tell them that give yourself that boost by kind of also celebrating small wins, doing small things for yourself, and then telling yourself कि maybe 6 years ago this is where you wanted to be and you're here today, and it takes a lot of effort. So I think these are few small things that we can incorporate into our life that will really help dealing with stressors.
So true. Depression has become very common in everyday life in all the age groups. What are the causes that you have actually come across, and how it is impacting people?
Right. So it has become common, but of late I have seen a trend in youngsters having it more. It comes from multiple places, like children have started having, and I say children because I still till the age of 23, 25 feel that we maybe are adults, we have that title, but we are still growing and learning, right? There is a lot of lack of self-worth, which I see in even adults these days. I just did something on imposter syndrome, and I realized that even adults post 40, they keep questioning themselves and where they're at. The second biggest challenge that we have faced when it comes to depression is due to relationship concerns. So we have a tendency of jumping into relationships, not realizing कि कितना important है to be on the same page or understand what a relationship is, and to come from a part where you should understand you are a different individual and your partner is going to be an entirely different individual. Discussing expectations, discussing your value system. So क्या होता है कि जब दोनों मैच नहीं करते and then you have that expectation कि ये सामने वाला करेगा. And मैंने बहुत दफा देखा है कि बहुत लोगों को ये लगेगा कि उसने मेरे मतलब मेरे को उसको पता है, मेरे को इतने टाइम से जानता है, उसने मेरे लिए किया नहीं. But I would have never verbally told this person that you know what, this is how I feel. So a lot of times those expectations can lead to feeling inadequate or feeling very low, and all these things can lead to depression. Also, marks again, competition plays a very big role. I just remember somebody telling me my child got in 12th standard 97.8 and is still 14 in the class. So you can understand that pressure that children have कि भाई हमारे को कहीं जाना है तो हमारे को ये करना ही पड़ेगा, and constantly having to study, and the biggest challenge being that social media, again, they want to be relevant in this time. So that can be a big challenge for them. So when they're not able to get the results, they feel very low and they start isolating themselves or not really interacting with other people, feeling judged by others, and all those things. That again can lead to depression.
So, what is the difference between occasional sadness and clinical depression? And like, when should someone seek for professional help?
So it's a very good question, because today I've been doing a workshop. We just started a summer camp with 11th, 12th psychology students, and this was a question I asked them.
Okay.
So we all as human beings can have emotions, and a lot of times we'll feel very low. There are days I feel very low. Plus, hormones have a lot to play. We have external factors that are playing a role. However, there are a couple of things that will get impacted when you're dealing with clinical depression, which is one, there is not the energy to do anything. They will not even feel like getting out of bed, or probably, they will not even feel like looking after their own hygiene. There is change in sleeping patterns. Either they'll sleep a lot or they will not sleep as much. They're not able to sleep. Food patterns would change. There's a lot of hopelessness and helplessness that ensues into it. But we only say that you need to talk to somebody after at least experiencing it for 2 or more days. Because the occasional sadness we all go through can last you a day, maybe a week also. But it will never last you for that long. So that is the biggest difference, and where we should, think about seeking help.
How can anxiety impact physical health, and what are the effective techniques to manage?
Anxiety, again, is one of the most common things that even a child experiences these days. Exam stress हो गई, exam anxiety हो गई, या मैं तो पेपर ही नहीं दे सकती, या पेपर ही नहीं दे सकता. Anxiety, performance anxiety होती है. Before starting anything, we all deal with some amount of anxiety, right? But the chronic anxiety is something that will start impacting you on a regular basis. A lot of people know when they deal with anxiety, they will have trembling hands बहुत common होते हैं, sweatiness बहुत common होती है, increase in heart rate बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाती है. They will start feeling कि they can't breathe at times. So these are all things that will impact the body, because it has physiological effects as well. However, what anxiety is, it's important to understand that when we feel anxious or we go through anxiety, the brain is actually going into fight, flight or freeze mode. What it is doing is, वो कहता है सब चीजें छोड़ दो, अब हम बहुत danger में हैं, we need to fight this. This is a challenge. So for the brain, every emotional problem is also a physical problem. So it will prepare the body for a fight, flight or freeze. Now when that happens, the anxiety will keep increasing. The heart rate increases because it feels that we need more blood to pump and more oxygen in the brain. So all that is happening. One of the most or the best techniques that I've seen work is grounding with and for anxiety, because there is a grounding exercise that is called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In which you see 5 things around you. Will hear 4 sounds around you, 3 things you can smell, 2 things you can taste, and so on and so forth. So But a lot of people are not even able to do that when the anxiety is very, very high and they're really overwhelmed. So what I tell them to do is, one, keep sour candy.
Okay.
Because when you're having sour candy, your brain will, that connection between the brain and the body will break because you will experience something. People who don't like sour candy, I tell them to hum. If you try humming, you will realize that you will not be able to think. And when the thought cycle breaks, your brain will calm down and your anxiety will calm down in that particular moment. And then obviously, that's not where it ends. To be able to recognize what is causing anxiety and how to deal with that is very, very important in the future. These are just techniques that can help you in the moment bring them down. But again, understanding your triggers. क्यों हो रही है मुझे anxiety? What is it that I'm facing? Breathing in that moment, writing down what kind of emotion, because a lot of times people will say anxiety hai, but there's a lot more emotion behind that. There's fear at times of anxiety, there's disappointment with anxiety. So recognizing that emotion really helps us.
Okay. This will really help me, you know.
It helps me, trust me.
Sexual assault can be traumatizing. What impact does it have on mental health, and how one can overcome the trauma and move on in life?
Of course, it is traumatizing. Not just because it is something that is traumatizing, but also because the perception of it in our society is still not where we would want it to be. You know, even today, girls are not able to talk about their sexual assault with their own parents. Because if a girl goes to somebody and says that, you know, this is what has happened to me, they'll say that, baat mat karo, shaadi nahi hota. Even now that happens. And I have had a couple of boys who've also had sexual encounters, that sexual assault, but they fear talking about it because they feel they'll get judged. कि तू कैसा आदमी है कि तूने रोका भी नहीं किसी. So I think a lot of the trauma not just comes from that incident, वो तो है ही, but prolonged trauma because people don't understand, you don't feel seen, heard, and a lot of times people who deal with that start internalizing it. They say that अगर मेरे साथ हो मेरे में कुछ कमी है. So you know that can be more harmful than anything else. अगर किसी के साथ कुछ भी होता है, something like this also, if they get a ear, somebody to tell them, this is not your fault. It's something that's happened and it's so wrong. You know, just that much will make that person cry because they feel heard and seen. So I think that we need to bring that shift in the society wherein, you know, it's happened.
Yeah.
It's not somebody's choice. Right? Somebody who's been a victim did not choose this for themselves. So giving them that understanding and extending that compassion to them is very important because it will impact their entire life. It impacts their relationships because they have this fear of coming close to a person. Or the physical relationships will become not important for them or irrelevant for them. Or, you know, a lot of women get married and, you know, they will not be able to connect with the partner in that way. So all these things will have a huge impact. The biggest impact I've seen is on self-esteem. Because you go through it and you don't feel seen and heard, you feel that, you know, I'm not good enough. That's why this happened to me. And they will feel not confident in doing a lot of things because obviously back of the mind there's a fear कि ये दोबारा ना हो, right? So they will also avoid a lot of situations, circumstances, etc. in order to protect themselves. So it is a very real thing, and I think needs more acceptance in the society, specifically for the victims, because they need more space, they need more love, they need more understanding and compassion to deal with it.
True. People still fear about seeking therapies. What are the common misconceptions that revolve around therapies?
Oh, there's so many.
वे भी नहीं करते हैं ना लोग बात ज़्यादा.
लोग अब समझ रहे हैं, but जब अपनी फैमिली में कुछ हो जाता है ना, तो वो acceptance नहीं है.
हाँ.
A lot of times what happens, and we talk about only people in cities, for example, वी थिंक कि सिटीज में लोगों को समझ आ रहा है मेरी मेंटल हेल्थ ऐसी है, तुम यहाँ चले जाओ, बट जब खुद के साथ हो जाता है ना, तब वो एक्सेप्टेंस की समथिंग इज रॉन्ग इज स्टिल नॉट देयर अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स, because see again it's something which is invisible, we can't see it, so people will tend to say things कि नहीं यार कुछ नहीं होता, ठीक हो जाएगा, ये बस passing phase है, just maybe exercise better हो जाएगा, and all those things will ensue, that happens. So I think even though we are better, and I've seen a good trend, which is youngsters have started seeking therapy, because they don't want to get that validation from outside anyone. So, and girls for that matter, they've been more proactive, especially the age groups of 18 to 23. They've been more proactive that, we want to start this self-love journey and not be dependent for our emotions on other people and things like that, which is very, very good. So there is definitely positive change, but I think family members, the generations who have grown up with certain belief systems and understandings are still there with those belief systems.
Our body often gives a signal that something is going wrong with the body and mental health. What are those indications that we should not ignore when it comes to when it comes to self identification of identifying our mental health is getting ruined?
Okay, so a couple of things. The first thing you'll start noticing is you will avoid or excessively get involved in social situations, because either you're trying to forget by being amongst people, or you're trying to just isolate so that you can be with your thoughts. The second is always when you're dealing with a lot of stressors and you're dealing with mental health concerns, you will not sleep well, or you will sleep excessively in order to cope, or your eating patterns will definitely change.
Stress eating बढ़ जाता है.
Stress eating बढ़ जाता है, कोई खाता ही नहीं है. There is somebody that I work with, they will not eat for 2 days because they're so stressed, and that their gut becomes, gets affected. So they stop eating for 2 days, they're just pure liquids. And that just only worsens the situation because we're not getting nutrients, the brain is not working well. And the most important is hygiene. Because helplessness, hopelessness are a part of most of the mental health concerns. So उसकी वजह से भी बहुत ज़्यादा hygiene, you just think यार क्या करना है, let us not do this, or you start wanting to not dress up or something or the other. So these are the majority signs that you would notice. But then for separate disorders, it's different. Like you start avoiding, for anxiety, for example, you start avoiding social cues. For OCD, you will have a lot of repetitions, and there's a lot of intrusive thoughts that will start happening. For PTSD, you'll have a lot of startling reactions, hypervigilance. So, everything comes differently, but basically, when you feel that you're not able to function to 100% like you were able to, because your emotions or other things are all over the place, then that's a warning sign, and that is something where you need to go and talk to a professional and see whether what you're feeling is actually the right way, or if there is something that can help you, or what is the route you should be taking in that matter.
Okay, so communication is the key. But what about those people, Million, who are not good at communicating their expressions, what they feel, what their current emotions are? ऐसे लोगों को कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करना?
See, जो ये लोग होते हैं ना जो दूसरों को एक्सप्रेस नहीं करते, वो खुद के साथ भी एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं लेकर आते. It's not necessary only to be able to express to others. But I think the first step is communicating with yourself. Right? How many times you would have seen that, when we make small mistakes, our self-talk goes to, yaar, kya karte, tumhe kitne basic. And I see that so often, to be very honest, because that's how when we were younger, we were told by different people कि तुमने पानी गिरा दिया या कांच तोड़ दिया, and we grew up with that inner voice. Now, a lot of times, people who don't talk externally also have a very strong self-talk. Noticing your self-talk, how you're communicating with yourself, is very, very important. Because if you're not able to communicate well with yourself, that is half a battle lost,
Hmm.
right? Like for example, जब anxiety होती है, like even I get anxious at times before events. I just stand in the mirror, and I literally have a mirror in my office because I make my clients do this. We do a lot of mirror work where we talk to ourselves, try to express how we feel, or just, and a lot of people will not even be able to make eye contact with themselves.
Hmm.
And that's where we understand how strong that self-talk is, how negatively, they're talking to themselves. And the first step is always being kind to us.
Hmm.
In any kind of situation, if you're able to extend that compassion to yourself, you can start recognizing what is happening, and then comes the stage of acceptance. And only once you have that acceptance, you'll be able to communicate with others.
So how that communication one can improve in themselves to be able to communicate when therapies are going on.
So, firstly, I tell clients that whenever you're feeling overwhelmed ना, मुझे तो एक voice note छोड़ दो. मैं चाहे जवाब नहीं दूंगी, but I need that voice note in my phone because तुम मेरे पास आओगे तब तक तुम भूल जाओगे. क्योंकि उसका इमोशनल चार्ज कम हो जाएगा ना, कुछ और हो जाएगा. First is that. A lot of times I tell people that if you can write a journal, please do. Because that helps your brain also know कि अच्छा कहीं लिखा है तो मुझे याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. There's no constant pressure. And then also notice when we start learning how to drive, क्या होता है कि हम कितना concentration चाहिए होता है कि and this is my favorite example to give कि क्योंकि मेरे लिए बहुत tough था. गियर बदलना है, तीन चीजें नीचे, यहाँ से भी देखना है गाड़ी आ रही है, रिव्यू मिरर भी देखना है, कोई बात मत करो मुझसे. But now, even if I don't drive for 6 months and then I get into a car, it's just like water. It's for me, it's smooth. And at times हम सोचते कहीं पहुंच भी जाते हैं जो हमारी यूजुअल जगहें होती हैं, नहीं पता होता है, and we don't realize what is that. That is autopilot. 90% of the time we are living on autopilot. So when we say that recognize your self-talk, it would mean that when you're making mistakes, understand how you're talking to yourself. Listen to yourself. What do you really say? And we all know what we talk to ourselves. Right? And slowly start changing it. Don't expect it to actually work immediately. इतने सालों से हमने एक चीज करी है, वो all of a sudden जाएगी नहीं. So give yourself that time and that patience. Like with children, we are more patient at times because हमें लगता है बच्चा है, कुछ नहीं होता. But वही patience we lose with ourselves. So I think being patient with yourself, understanding and being in touch with what your body needs, and then also noticing how you are nurturing it, how you're talking to it, what kind of love are you extending to it. Everything makes a lot of difference.
Okay, so lastly, we need 3 affirmations that will help any person who is dealing with mental health जो उसको bypass कर दे.
Okay. So my favorite ones are I am safe, because a lot of people don't feel safe in their own systems meaning with themselves at times. Like हम अपने इमोशंस के साथ ज्यादा बात नहीं करते क्योंकि हमें सेफ्टी फील नहीं होती अपने इमोशंस के साथ डील करने के लिए. I am safe is one of the most important ones I feel. I am heard, I am seen, and I am important is the second one.
Okay.
So I am heard, I am seen, and I am important, meaning that I am very valuable to this world. And only if I believe this value, only then others. So that is there. And third, I am worthy, or I am good enough, or I am more than good enough. I mean, you can ask me so many. I have so many affirmations that I use. So I keep shifting around different affirmations and using them. But I love affirmations. Affirmations will not really act as therapy, but it will give you that boost. Yeah, and it will make you. शुरू में जब करो तो ऐसे लगता है कि यार क्या होगा, हम believe नहीं करें. Trust me, it works. Once you start doing them consistently, they will bring a lot of change, because again, it's how you're talking to yourself.
True.
Right? So these are my favorite ones.
Thank you, Milan, for this wonderful conversation.
Thank you so much. I am really honored that you came here today.